Hi everyone, it's Lottie from Cozy Paper Trails here, and in today's video I'm going to be doing the If My Books Had Personalities tag, which was originally created by Mama360, so I will link her video in the description below. But I've seen a lot of people do this tag and I thought it was a really cool idea. No one in particular has tagged me, I just thought I'd join in because it just seemed like fun, and it's just, yeah, it's quite a unique idea and I just wanted to join in with it. So I'm just going to get straight into it, and I will leave the prompts in the description below as well so that you can join in. Oh, what happened to my voice there? So you can join in if you would like to as well. Basically, you get given some prompts, as you'll see as I go along, and you have to pick one of your books that fits that prompt. I've written all my answers and the prompts down on a piece of paper here, because some of them I had to really think about and I'd probably forget what ones I'd picked for each one if I didn't write it all down. Some of the prompts I did struggle with, which I will let you know as I go through them as well. But let's just get started. Prompt number 1 is the Stress Inducer. So I picked a book that I struggle to work in because it causes me stress, I guess, which is kind of, yeah, I think everyone can kind of interpret these prompts in their own way. But I went for Worlds Within Worlds by Rosannes because I absolutely love the artwork, absolutely incredible artwork, but I really struggle to colour in any of their books. I have done a few pages in their books before and I've really liked how they've turned out, but God, just working in them stresses me out. I don't know why. I love the images, it's just, they're so complex and some of them have such big kind of areas like this. I just don't know how to approach them, or like it gives me stress because there's just so much like of this. There's just so much. It's not like loads of small elements, if you know what I mean. There's just like one giant dinosaur. I mean, these aren't too bad. I can work with those, but I don't know. I'll try and find one that I've done. I did this one, and that one's not too bad, I don't think. This is one of my older colourings, like when I first started sort of colouring, because I did start off with Johanna, Basford and Kerby Rosannes and the Romantic Country books. They're the 3 that I started off with, and it's alright, turned out okay. And I don't think I got stressed by that, but it's these type of ones that stress me out, where it's just so much of the same thing. So this octopus, there's just so much of it, and I think that's what stresses me out. And like this, there's so much camel that just stresses me out. And this one I had started ages ago, but I think doing these little ones, absolutely fine. But then there's just so much of this background. There's just a lot of it. I don't know how to describe it. So it just kind of, I haven't really worked much in their books. I think there's another one in here that I've done. Oh, I started this one, which was using this reference image off Pinterest that I printed out, and I was sort of using it as reference. And I did all the crystals and the rainbow, and then there's just so much of this stuff around the edge. I was just kind of like, I don't know, I just haven't come back to it. I would like to complete this at some point. I can't remember what pencils I used though, that's the thing. I think I used Prisoners, I think. But yeah, I'm going to just say Worlds Within Worlds is the one I picked for the Stress Inducer. The next one is the Dark Moody, and I don't have any books that are really dark and moody themed except from this one, which I thought kind of fits so well, and it is another Kerby book, Mythomorphia, and this one's the only one that I've got that's kind of got some more dark images in, and even quite a lot of these aren't really dark necessarily. And actually I must say I think I prefer this book to Worlds Within Worlds that I just showed you. But I would actually colour these, I would like to colour them. But again, there is just a lot of this around the edge, if you know what I mean. And this, I've seen people colour this so nicely. And it looks incredible, but it's just a lot, isn't it? I don't know. I've started this one. But as you can see, some of the, like this is a bit like this mermaid or selkie or whatever it is, looks a little bit dark. And like this creature, quite like dark. Oops, another one I've started. There's a page in here that I'm not going to show you because, a little spoiler, it does pop up later on in this video. I've done a mermaid here. Not particularly dark, that one, but it's just some of the images, like these, for example. They're just the only book that I've got that kind of fit in with the dark and moody prompt. Oh, my cat. Hello, Loki. So that is the one that I picked for the second prompt. There are 19 prompts altogether. The third prompt is the Paper Snob. Loki's gonna be involved now, I can just tell. Once he starts, he doesn't want to stop, he just wants attention. Because this time of evening I usually sit down and give him cuddles, so I think he's waiting for me to do that. So for the Paper Snob prompt, I picked this one, which I'm not 100% sure what this translates to. I do need to properly look it up. But it's something like journey with twins or travelling with twins or something along those lines. And I recently got this from Amazon Japan. I've uploaded a haul recently if you want to check that video out. I'd ordered a selection of books from Amazon Japan, but this one in particular, the paper is absolutely incredible. And I think this book is designed for using water mediums as well, because when you look at the beginning bit here, it's got loads of watercolour pencils and showing you different techniques of how to use them and stuff. And the images, like the example images at the beginning, these are definitely done using watercolour, some sort of watercolours. So that's probably why the paper is so thick and nice. It just, honestly, this paper, I can imagine, so I haven't done anything in this book yet, but I can imagine this paper is going to be a dream to work on. It's just super, super thick. It doesn't feel too smooth either, like it's got a little bit of tooth, because I find when papers are too smooth, I really struggle to work on them. But yeah, you can kind of hear how thick and nice this paper is. I almost said Johanna Basford's books for this prompt, but then this book arrived and I was like, yeah, this paper I think has beat it, I think. So I definitely thought I'd pick this one for the Paper Snob. Prompt number 4 is the Too Scared to Touch, and I'm going to pick this one, The Land of Adventures by Rita Berman. And I have actually touched this. I have started a page in it, but that is all I've done in it. I need to come back to it because I haven't actually finished this page either. And it was this one. I haven't got a huge amount left to do really, just a few elements here and a little bit of background or something. But I just think, because this book is so beautiful, but I love this image. Just, yeah, like this. I think I'm just a bit, I don't want to mess the pages up. I've seen people colour in this book and just do such an amazing job. Loki, let's not. I just don't want to mess it up, so I feel like I've been avoiding colouring in it when I need to just get stuck in. Like, colouring isn't that serious. I just need to get on with it, really. But I picked this one for this prompt. I wasn't too sure because I'm not really too scared to touch any of my books particularly. But I feel like this one I have sort of shied away from a little bit because the images have quite a lot going on and I struggle to pick colours, like colour palettes and colours when there's a lot going on in a page without it looking too all one colour palette, if you know what I mean. Like, you don't want to just do blue, green and yellow when there's so much going on. You kind of need to add in other colours as well, or it just doesn't work. I don't know. But I definitely need to just get stuck into this book a little bit more. So I picked that one for the Too Scared to Touch prompt. And then prompt number 5 is the Old Reliable. So I've picked for this prompt a Disney colour by numbers, and this is any Disney colour by numbers in general, not just this one, but I picked this one particularly because this was my first ever Disney colour by numbers book and I've completed nearly half of it. And I just thought, this is like my Old Reliable. If I just want something to colour and I don't want to think too much, I always go for a Disney colour by number because you don't have to really think. You just colour and it's relaxing, it's fun. And these ones were like one of my first ones that I did, so they're very, very streaky. Look at this, this is so streaky, whereas now I've kind of come up with techniques which make it look a lot less streaky than these ones. But I still really enjoyed colouring in these. I always enjoy them, so it's just really reliable for me if I just want something to colour, or like, yeah, if I'm just a bit tired and I don't want to think too much, then these books are my go-to usually. Actually working on one at the moment that I'll probably be continuing with actually after I filmed this video. These two haven't completed. I got bored of this one because it was just boring, didn't enjoy that one. And this one, I can't remember the colours that I was using. So I will probably come back to it and finish it at some point, but it'll just be a bit of guesswork as to what colours I was using. I want to try and finish them all because I want to complete this book. But yeah, look how streaky this looks. Not my best work, but yeah, this one's a more recent one. Did this one last month, I think. So yeah, my old reliable are all of my Disney colour by number books. And number 6 is the One Page Wonder, and again I've picked Mythomorphia for this one, which I did show you this book earlier, and this one is a one-page wonder for me because I completed a page in it that I'm so proud of, and it's this one. And I did use I did use an image on Pinterest of inspiration that someone had done. I changed a few things, but the background and certain elements and stuff I did keep exactly the same as the image, and I'd love to give credit to the person who originally chose all the colours and everything, but it was so long ago that I honestly couldn't tell you, and I probably wouldn't be able to find the image anymore. But I just thought I'd say that I didn't pick the colours for this, but it's my one-page wonder because I was just really proud of this page. And I haven't been proud of another page in here since this page. And I think I used polychromos for this, but my blending isn't the best. Like, it's quite an old page. This did take me forever though. I remember spending so long on this. I feel like I could do a better job now, but I'm still really pleased with how it looks. So that's why I picked that one for the one-page wonder. Number 7 is The Secret Shame, and honestly I didn't know what to pick for this, so this one's kind of a bit of a random answer because I wasn't entirely sure what to pick for this one. So I picked my mythographic romantasy book because, and the only reason is, well, I got this one recently, it was in one of my recent hauls, but the only reason that I picked this book as my secret shame is because, let me find the page, I made a start on this one like the day after my birthday or something, and I haven't come back to it since, but it's only been a couple of weeks, so it's not really that bad. I will come back to it, I definitely will, because I really want to complete this page because it looks so nice. But at the same time, I've just been feeling like colouring other things at the moment. I'm sometimes a bit like that. I have to colour by my mood, because if I'm not in the mood to colour a page, I will mess it up and it would end up looking really bad, or I'll rush it or whatever, and I don't want to rush it because I want this page to look really good. So that's the only reason I'm calling it my secret shame. I didn't know what else to pick for this prompt. I kind of struggled. I can't remember how other people interpreted this without going back and watching people's videos again, so I just sort of picked this one for that. I think that kind of works for the prompt. Just sort of shameful, I guess, that I haven't come back and carried on with it since, but it's not really been that long, so it's not really that big of a deal. I do love this book though. There's some really, really nice images in here. Really like her style and the way that she draws hair. I don't normally colour portraits, so it'd be quite interesting for me to do a portrait image in here at some point. Like, I really love this, and see how I can learn to colour skin and things like that. But yeah, that one is my secret shame. The Wishful Thinker That's the next one, prompt number 8, The Wishful Thinker. And I have picked Leon's Journey by Kanoko Agusa. And the reason I picked this one is just because my wishful thinking is that I could start this book from beginning to end, work through it slowly, and because it's kind of like a little story of Leon going on his little adventures. And that was sort of my idea, but that's probably wishful thinking because chances of finishing a whole book is very slim, especially one as detailed as this. I mean, I can try, but then I've kind of ended up not working in the book in order anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter what order you colour it in. So I was going to colour it in order, but because it goes through the seasons, so I've done this page, which is a spring page, but then there are also some really nice summery images, which I'll be wanting to move on to soon because we're coming up to summer. Like these ones and stuff. I love these. I just love the art style. I can't wait to colour more in here. And these. I really like colouring water kind of scenes, so that's one I'll definitely want to do. But yeah, it's just wishful thinking that I could complete this book. Maybe one day, you never know. And it goes through the seasons, and then it goes on to autumn. I like that, that's really nice. And I want to follow, like, do Leon, who's the cat. I nearly said ginger cat, but that's just because I've chosen to do him ginger. I want to keep these characters the same colours throughout this book. So I've written down the colours that I've used for the characters. I'm going to kind of try and keep it consistent. I might change some of the colours for the owl, because I'm not really that pleased with how the owl turned out. But I really like Leon's colours, and the 2 dogs, and Lily. I really like her colouring as well. So I want to try and keep that consistent. But yeah, anyway, I'd definitely say this is just wishful thinking. Whenever I get a book that kind of tells a story or whatever, I always think I could colour the entire book, and it would be literally like, yeah, you could just look through the whole thing coloured. It'd be incredible. But realistically, I don't have enough time. I have too many books, not enough time, but I can definitely try. Prompt number 9 is The Honeymoon Phase, and I have picked this book here, which is a book that I'm working in at the moment. It's one of the Tokimeku series. I got this from Amazon Japan. It was in my Amazon Japan haul that I uploaded a few days ago. And I am just loving working in this so far. I've not done much. I'll show you what I've done so far. I've just been working on this page, and I'm sort of working on both pages at the same time so that they match. And I've just been working on all the leaves at the beginning, which I did that all yesterday. And then I started working on some flowers and adding in some colours, and kind of, I think I'm going to do some like pastel pink, blues and purples for like flowers and little objects and stuff within this page. I think that will look really cute. I'm definitely in the honeymoon phase with my Japanese books at the moment. And I did buy a few other ones, but this is the only one I've started working in, so that's why I picked this one for this prompt. But it's just so stunning. I love the line work in these books and all the little details. Like this page is very detailed, but some of the pages are quite, like, they're detailed, but they're not unapproachable, if you know what I mean. Like, this is detailed, but I'd say that's approachable for me to colour. And this is so nice. I mean, that might be quite hard to figure out how to do the sea and everything, but this is quite simple. There's just such a nice mixture in here. And yeah, I've been using the Castle Arts pencils, the soft touch ones in this book so far, and I've been loving the way they work in this. The pencils just seem to lay down like a dream. So I'm definitely in the honeymoon phase of these at the moment. I'm just absolutely obsessed. Just these cute little mugs, it's just like adorable. But if you want to have a full flip through of my Amazon Japan books that I got recently, check out my latest video. I'll try and link it in the description below, because I did a haul and I did a flip through of all the books that I ordered in that video. So yeah, please check that out if you are interested. But that's the one picked for the honeymoon phase. The next one, prompt number 10, is the Midnight Snack, and I've picked like a cute and cozy kind of colouring book for this prompt, and this could, any cute and cozy book could go for this, I think. If you're, say like I woke up 2 o'clock in the morning, couldn't sleep, and I was going to do some colouring, I'd probably pick one of these because they're super simple, easy to colour. I can just whip out my alcohol markers and some pencils and just get a page in this done. Like if I wanted to do something quick and easy, look at these, very simple. Look at the little belly buttons, I hadn't noticed that before. And this, like it's just really, really cute, but it's simple and easy. So I've picked this book for my midnight snack. I've recently completed a page in this book, which I haven't showed in my completed pages because I completed it this month, but I'll give you a little sneak peek. I did this one and it didn't take me too long at all. I based it all with alcohol markers, and then I just went over the top with some coloured pencil and a bit of white gel pen, and I really love how this turned out. It's just so bold, bright, looks neat. Yeah, I'm really pleased with that page. So any like simple cute book where you can use alcohol markers would be my selection for a midnight snack. Prompt number 11 is the Seasonal Obsession. So I have picked Ball de Pois by, who's this one by? I can't remember. Diane Dufour. And this book goes through the seasons. I did this one last month. So it starts off with autumn. And I've actually only done this page in this book so far, but I need to do more. I did this with Albec Dura pencils and polychromos on top. Just kept it nice and simple, nothing too crazy. So there's plenty of autumn pages, and I think in this book I'm going to definitely be using water mediums and then pencils on top, just because it's nice and quick, easy. And then it goes into winter here. I've got quite a few books that go through the seasons, but I picked out this one in particular because the seasons are quite obvious, like for what seasons they go through. I could have also picked Leon's Journey for this prompt, but I picked it for a different prompt, so I thought I would pick this one. There's winter, now we're going into spring, which I need to do a spring page. I really want to do one this month, but I'm still deciding what one I would like to do. I like this. I feel like this is a strong contender for doing this month. And then, yeah, at the start of each season, they've got a page like this. So this is the start of the summer scenes. I like this, the animals stealing from the barbecue. Very cute. That's the summer section, and then I think, is that it? Yeah, then that's it. And then there's just some sort of bonus bits at the back. I don't know what these are. You can like cut out little labels or something. I don't know, I probably wouldn't ever use those. But yeah, that is my seasonal obsession. Prompt number 12 is the FOMO, the fear of missing out. So for this prompt, I picked a book that is by an author that I originally wasn't as keen on, and I didn't think I would like her books. I didn't think I'd like colouring in them, because I thought maybe they were a bit too cutesy and random. So I don't know, so I ended up picking up one of her books. I've actually now got 3, maybe 4 of her books, and this is the first one that I got, A Million Baby Animals by Lulu Mayo. And I don't know why I wouldn't want to colour these images, because look how cute they are. Now looking back, why did I not want to colour these? I don't know. I just maybe hadn't seen a book in person, I hadn't flipped through it, I don't know. And then one day I just thought, I'm going to give one a go. And since then, I've absolutely loved colouring in it. These are one of my favourite, like Lulu Mayo books are one of my favourite illustrators, like to colour. I just love colouring them. You can just, and also like, because they're so cutie and like abstract, they're not realistic. Like you never have animals standing on a cape like this or whatever. You can colour the animals any colour you want and it doesn't look stupid. So on this page you could have a purple hedgehog and it would make sense in these books. So I love that about these. And I picked this for my FOMO the FOMO prompt because I saw so many people having these books on YouTube and I just didn't really want to miss out, basically. So I did buy this one, and now I absolutely love Lily Mayo. I would like to get more of her books as well. I've done a few in this one. I did this one recently, which is like a replica of the front cover. But I absolutely love it. Prompt number 13 is The Silent Viewer, and for this one I again didn't really know what to pick because I show like all my books in my videos. There's not really any that I wouldn't show, but I picked this one because I don't think I've showed this book on my channel before, and I've done quite a few in here. And this is Cozy Corner by Coco Wayo. This is one of the cute and cozy kind of books, and I just use my alcohol markers and a white gel pen in this book, but I don't think I have showed it on my YouTube channel so far, so that's why I picked this one for the Silent Viewer. I guess you could probably interpret this prompt in many ways, but that's sort of how I interpreted it. It was just a book that I haven't shown on my channel before. These are just a few that I've done. I used the Deco Time alcohol markers, which I got for a really good price. I got them, well, I got my husband to get them for me for Christmas. A couple of the colours are starting to run out now, which is a bit annoying, but for the price you honestly can't complain. They work so nicely. This is some that I've done in this book. I like this book in particular. Out of the cute and cozy, I find it quite unique. I've done a few more. There's another one here, The Chick House. Have I done any more? I think I've done another couple. I've done this one, which I tried doing like a blended sunset thing, but it didn't work very well, and yeah, I don't really think I'm very skilled with blending alcohol markers, so I think I will probably stay away from that for now. I think I've done one more. Yeah, and this one, this like fishing boat kind of one. I was trying out a different kind of water effect here. Yeah, that's all I've done in that one. So that's my pick for The Silent Viewer. Prompt number 14 is The Villain. And I have picked this book, which is a villain for a very particular reason, which I will show you in a moment. But this is Una Annie de Coloriage. I can't speak French, so I apologise if that's completely wrong. But I think it means like a year of colouring or something like that. I think in this book there's a page for every week of the year, which is crazy. But the reason that this book is the villain, because this book is absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely adore this book. But it's the villain to me because of the paper. I planned to work mostly in colour pencils in this book. And these are all like massive double spreads. And it's a hardback book as well, so it's absolutely lovely. I planned to use coloured pencils for this book pretty much. And I've tried multiple types of coloured pencils and they just don't layer on this paper. They don't blend on this paper. I've tried water mediums in this book as well and they didn't work out for me. I've tried water-based markers, didn't like how it looked. I don't know. This is my sort of tester page in this book. So for these dwarfs, I used Prismacolor pencils. This bit here is using Prismacolor pencils, and a hair. I did the skirt in Polychromos. I also did him in Polychromos, but then I went over the top with some Albrecht Duras because it just looked really patchy. I also used water-based markers here, but didn't like how it turned out. They go on quite streaky on this paper. I think, what did I use this for? I think I just did flat colouring using Polychromos on these. I don't know. So this is kind of my tester page. I've got Castle Arts pencils to try out. And then if they don't work great, I may end up just going back to the Prismacolors here, but they just don't layer that well. So I feel like I don't know if you can see it on here, but you can still see some of the paper through, like here and that. It's just, oh, the paper frustrated me so much. That's why I was going to do this entire page, and now it's just turned into my tester page because I ended up having to test so much that I just didn't want to complete this page anymore. And since then I've not attempted to do any other pages in this book because of the paper issue. So I don't really know what to do. I think I'm going to test out my Castle Arts pencils on that tester page at some point, see how they feel. And then if not, I may have to I might have to go back to my Prismacolors and potentially base a few bits with my Crayola Super Tips or something. It's just really frustrating because this book would be one of my favourite books of all time if I could use my colour pencils in it, if the paper was different. So the thing is, the paper feels super, super thick. It feels like lovely paper. When I received the book, I was like, oh wow, that feels really good quality. But then when I started working it, I was like, hang on a minute. It's just so smooth, but then it feels like it has a bit of tooth to it. But it just, I don't know. And I think other people on YouTube I've heard having like problems with the paper as well. So it's not just me, which is just such a shame. So that is why I've picked this book for the villain. Prompt number 15 is The Underdog, and I've picked So Many Cute Animals by Kimma Parish. Or is it Kimma Parish? I don't know if it's Kimma Parish or Kimma Parish, but I absolutely love this book. It's so gorgeous. I've only done one page in here so far, which is this one. Absolutely love it. The images in here are so unique, and I just feel like I don't see anyone talk about this book. I've only seen it, I think, on one person's channel, and I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I've got a full flip through of this book on my channel as well, if you want to check that out. But I'm just surprised more people haven't picked these up. But I think her newest book, I think, is coming out in like Hobbycraft and maybe some other stores as well, so it may slowly become more popular, I don't know. But the paper's really nice. The paper's really nice in this book as well. It's maybe a bit too smooth, but my pencils, oh, hiccups. But my pencils did blend quite well on this paper. Like, you can see it gave quite a smooth blend, quite a smooth finish. I just realised I didn't actually colour in this dog's mouth. I need to go back and add that in. But yeah, she does have a couple other books out, and I would like one of the other ones that she's got, the newest one. I would like that book as well, but this one was about a third of the price, so I picked up this one. But it's just absolutely adorable. It's kind of a mixture between the cute and cozy books and a more detailed book. Like, it's kind of giving cute and cozy vibes, but I just feel like it's a lot more detailed, so it's like sort of a perfect in between, and it's just super cute and quite a unique book as well. Like, look at all these animals surfing. What's not to love about that? So that's my pick for The Underdog. Prompt number 16 is The Identity Crisis, and for this book I kind of interpreted it as a book with lots of random things in. So it's sort of a book that's not really a set theme as such, it's just got loads of random things in it. And so I picked this book, which is another one that I got from Amazon Japan, and it's by Miki Taki, is that how you pronounce it? And this book is quite unique. I haven't got anything else like this in my collection. So there's an example coloured image there, and then here it's got sort of little thumbnails of all of the images coloured in here, so you can kind of look at them and use them as a bit of inspiration. I'll try and show you here. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that, but the images all have so many random animals, and each page is sort of themed, I guess, but it's just really random. So that's why I picked it for The Identity Crisis, because there's not really a set theme. Obviously the style is the same in each of the images, but the theme of them is all completely different. And these two aren't as detailed, but you can see how detailed like this is, for example. So detailed. But there's anything from this, which is like a little, what is this, like a carnival or a market or something? I think it's a market, I don't know. And then there is like dogs. What are they doing? Eating? I don't know, they're in like teacups. There's like macarons everywhere, and it's all just very, very random. There's like woodland animals, and I think there's this one with like dinosaurs. Here we go. There's dinosaurs here, like riding cars and like all sorts of random stuff. An underwater one. Like an Arctic or Antarctic type theme. Australian animals. But they're all just doing really random things. And then there's a Christmas one here. So I didn't know what else to pick for this prompt, but I think this one kind of fits because there's just so many random images and yeah, but I absolutely love it. I can't wait to get started in this, but I feel like each page is gonna take like so long. So that's my identity crisis pick. Number 17 is the Nostalgic Elder. And for this one, I've picked one of my first ever colouring books, which has some of my first ever colouring pages completed in it, which is Enchanted Forest by Johanna Basford. And this is definitely my most nostalgic colouring book, apart from Secret Garden, but I have destashed that one because I know that I'm never ever going to come back to it because I don't like the images in that as much. But other than that, this was my second ever colouring book. I think Secret Garden was the first one, and then I got this one after, and this was about 7 or 8 years ago now. And I'll just go through some of my very first pages with you. And you can, it's just, my blending isn't great. I don't know. You can kind of tell the difference from my most recent work. I did the map page, and also this book I started working on through in order as well. I don't know if I'd have the patience to do this border now, you know. I did back then apparently, but I don't know if I could. And then I did this, and I tried to create like this map kind of effect behind it. And this one, I can remember working on this. It took me so long, and I didn't do a background for it because I probably couldn't be bothered. And then these two here, you can see here, like this is my colouring here. It's just so not blended. Oh, I can't really hold it up, but like all around the owl here and that, you can just see how it's not blended that well. And I think I was using cheap coloured pencils for this, potentially. I think I might have been using some Faber-Castell ones. They come in like a red box, but they're like a budget kind of pencil set rather than artist grade ones. And then I have done a few others in here, but I don't know if I'd ever come back to this, to be honest. I was trying to de-stash it, but I don't know. Don't know what to do with it really, because I don't want to just bin it. But I'd never probably colour it again unless I just keep it for memories and looking back on at my old colouring, maybe, I don't know. I did this double spread, and you can see here my blending isn't the greatest, but you've got to start somewhere. This one I was very proud of, but I didn't create the colours and everything myself. I followed a colour along by, was it Peter Hewitt, I think? I followed a colour along for that ages ago, and I just really love how it turned out. I think it taught me quite a lot of techniques and bits, so I'm glad I followed along with that one. Have I done anything else in here? I think that might be it. But yeah, I don't think I would ever come back and colour in here again, to be honest. It's not really my style anymore. It's just quite a lot of leaves in this book and stuff. But that would be my Nostalgic Elder, because it was one of my first colouring books, the oldest one that I own. And prompt number 18 is the one that got away. And because it got away, I don't have it here to show you. So I was going to pick The Secret Garden by Johanna Basford, because I don't have it anymore. That was one of my, well, it was my first ever colouring book that I got into. And I got rid of it because I had only done a couple pages in it and I wasn't ever going to use it again, so I sold it on Vinted. I don't really miss it, to be honest, because I know I wouldn't colour in it anymore. It's just, I don't really like that book anymore. So that was a quick and easy answer for that one. That's the one that got away. And then prompt number 19, which is the last one, is The Rebel. And I really struggled with what to pick for this because you could interpret this in many ways. Again, I wasn't really too sure. So I ended up picking my romantic country books for this prompt. And the reason that I picked these is because I've used a variety of mediums in here, and normally I would just use one medium kind of consistently throughout the book or whatever, but in these books I've kind of tried out a few different things. So recently, well, last month I did this one, which I showed in my completed pages video. This was done with Albrecht Dürer's and polychromos pencils on top. And this isn't something I normally would do. I don't normally use water mediums, but I'm trying to kind of learn how to use them better. And this page turned out okay, but this was a whip from years ago, so it wasn't going to turn out the best because I didn't like how I was starting anyway, so I thought I'd just use this as a test page for the watercolour pencils, and it looks okay until you go up close, and then it looks a bit rubbish. What else have I used in these books? I've used just plain pencils, but I find the paper quite difficult to work with. I feel like it's quite hard to get a bold look with this paper because it's a funny paper. Oh, it's like spread onto the other page. I can probably clean that up at some point. And I've done this one, which I think was this Prismacolor or is it polychromos? This might be polychromos again, actually. And then the reason I picked more than one book for this prompt is because in the second tale, I think this one is, I've used Crayola Super Tips for this, and I didn't do a background or anything because I couldn't really be bothered, but I just did a flat layer of Crayola Super Tips, which I never ever do in any of my colouring books, apart from the Disney Colour by Numbers obviously, but any like this kind of colouring book, I've never done that. So that's why I picked it for the Rebel, because I've used mediums in these books, which I've never used before in colouring books. And this one here was done using Crayola Super Tips again, and then I just used a little bit of polychromos on top. And you can see the streaky kind of ness of this. It doesn't look the best, so I don't think I'll be continuing them, although I don't really mind this page that much. It doesn't look too bad overall. But I think in this book going forward I might experiment just more with the Albrecht Dürer's or watercolour pencils, and I think that would just be fun to experiment with. I don't think I've tried out anything different in this book. I've done that page using polychromos. I think I followed either a colour along or I followed something from this, but I can't remember whose it was. But I do really like that page. I started this one with Prismacolors, but haven't finished it. I'll have to try and come back to it at some point. But again, I just feel like they don't work. They're okay on this paper, but I don't know. I kind of struggle with the paper in this book. So that's why I'm thinking of doing the Albrecht Dürer pencils and like experiment with water mediums in these books, because I think the style kind of would work well. Just bend on that bit there. So they're my picks for the Rebels, purely because I've used mediums in them that I don't normally use in my colour pencil. In my colouring books. That's what I meant. And now I've got the fun job of putting away all this gigantic pile of colouring books, which is not going to be that fun. But I really enjoyed coming up with answers for these prompts. It was just a really fun and unique concept. So thank you to Colour Mama 360 for creating this tag video. I hope you enjoyed watching. As I said, I will link her video in the description below so you can check out the original video. But I hope you enjoyed listening to my answers. Please let me know in the comments any of your answers for these questions, if there's any that you would agree on, that sort of thing. Please give the video a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you'd like to see future videos from me, and I'll hopefully see you on my next one. Bye for now.